want you to imagine this moment. It's 6:30 in the morning. You shuffle into the bathroom, step on the scale, and hold your breath. You've been eating less, skipping desserts, maybe even forcing yourself through a few workouts. You're hoping today will finally be different. But then you see it. The number isn't down, it's up. And in that instant, your stomach sinks. You whisper to yourself, "What's wrong with me? Why won't my body cooperate?" Here's the truth most people never hear. Nothing is wrong with you. What's broken is the weight loss advice you've been given. Because once you hit your 40s, the rules of the game change. Your hormones shift, your metabolism slows, your cravings hit harder, and the same diet tricks that worked in your 20s or 30s can now backfire, making you store more fat instead of burning it. I've seen this play out with thousands of patients, sitting across from me almost in tears, convinced their body was broken. And every time I remind them, you are not broken. You just need a smarter way, one that works with your body, not against it. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. If I personally had to lose 30 pounds fast in 2025, here's the exact process I'd follow. The same process I've seen work for men and women just like you. So let's begin with the very first step. The habit that can make or break your fat-burning momentum for the entire day. What you choose in the morning determines whether your body burns fat or clings to it. Start your day with protein power. If there's one habit that can make or break your fat-burning momentum for the entire day, it's what you put in your body first thing in the morning. Most people over 40 don't realize this, but your first meal is like a switch. It either turns on fat-burning mode or it flips you straight into fat-storing mode. And the difference often comes down to a single word: protein. Think about how most of us were taught to start the day. A bowl of cereal, a piece of toast with jam, maybe a glass of orange juice. It feels healthy because it's light, but here's what really happens. Those carbs hit your bloodstream fast. Your blood sugar spikes, insulin rises, and within a couple of hours, you crash. That crash triggers cravings, fatigue, and a constant search for snacks. By the time dinner rolls around, you've eaten way more than you planned. Now compare that to a morning started with protein. Studies show that simply increasing protein from 15 to 30% of your daily calories naturally helps people eat hundreds fewer calories without even trying. Why? Because protein stabilizes blood sugar, keeps insulin low, and tells your brain you're satisfied. It's like giving your body steady fuel instead of throwing lighter fluid on a fire. In fact, one study showed that a protein-rich breakfast can lower ghrelin, the hunger hormone, by up to 25%. Imagine having a natural appetite suppressant built right into your first meal of the day. No injections, no pills, just food working for you instead of against you. Let me give you some practical examples. For men, the target is about 30 to 40 grams of protein in the morning. For women, 20 to 30 grams. That could look like 2 eggs with a side of turkey sausage and avocado. Or a protein coffee. Yes, your morning coffee can actually be upgraded into a fat-burning latte by blending in collagen protein, a little coconut oil, maybe even a sprinkle of cacao. Some of my patients prefer a smoothie with hemp seeds, chia, flax, and a scoop of clean protein powder. And if you're plant-based, you're not left out. Collagen powders made from bone broth are dairy-free, and there are high-quality hemp or pea protein powders as well. The key is to be mindful of additives. Skip anything with artificial sweeteners or processed fillers. One of my favorite quick options for busy mornings is mixing chocolate collagen protein with water and a spoon of cacao powder. It tastes like chocolate milk, but it's loaded with antioxidants and gives you that steady energy instead of a sugar crash. I once worked with a woman in her late 50s who told me she could never get rid of her late-night snacking. She'd sit down at 9 p.m. with a bag of chips or cookies, and every diet she tried failed at that exact moment. When we simply switched her breakfast from cereal to 2 eggs and a protein coffee, something amazing happened. Her late-night cravings almost disappeared. She lost 12 pounds in the first 8 weeks. Not by fighting harder, but by fueling smarter. That's the real lesson here. When you start your day with protein, you're not just feeding your muscles. You're calming your hormones, balancing your energy, and setting yourself up to win the food battle before it even begins. It's not about willpower. It's about wiring your body to support you. So tomorrow morning, ask yourself, is my breakfast going to fuel fat burning, or is it setting me up for cravings and crashes? Because once you master this first habit, the rest of your day and your weight loss journey gets much easier. And now that we've unlocked the secret power of protein, it's time to tackle another misunderstood topic: carbohydrates. Are they really the enemy, or can they actually become your ally in fat loss? Let's find out in Habit 2. Carbs are not the enemy. Master carb cycling now. After fixing breakfast with protein, let's talk about one of the most misunderstood topics in weight loss: carbohydrates. For decades, carbs have been labeled the villain, the one food group you must cut out if you ever want to see the scale move. And yes, cutting carbs can lead to quick weight loss at first. But here's the shocker. If you're over 40, cutting them out completely can actually backfire. Your thyroid slows down, your energy crashes, your cravings skyrocket, and your metabolism begins to stall. I've seen patients lose weight quickly on strict low-carb plans, only to hit a wall after a few weeks and feel worse than before. The truth is, carbs aren't the enemy. The real problem is when and what kind you eat. That's where carb cycling comes in. Carb cycling simply means being intentional about your carb intake, lowering carbs on rest days when your body doesn't need as much fuel, and strategically adding in healthy, fiber-rich carbs on days you're more active. This way, you give your body the best of both worlds: periods of fat burning from low-carb eating and periods of recovery and hormone support when you reintroduce the right carbs. Let me paint a picture. Imagine it's Saturday and you've planned a hike with friends. That's a perfect day to add some clean carbs to your plate, maybe roasted sweet potatoes with dinner, or a side of lentils with your grilled chicken. The extra fiber and slow-digesting carbs give you steady energy for activity while also helping your body recover. Now imagine Monday, a day at the office with little movement. That's when you lean toward low-carb meals like salmon with sautéed greens and avocado, or a big salad with chicken and olive oil. You're not depriving yourself, you're just matching your fuel to your lifestyle. And the science is powerful. Carbs eaten with plenty of fiber digest slowly, keeping blood sugar stable instead of spiking and crashing. This prevents the insulin surges that lock fat away in storage. It also keeps hormones like leptin balanced, which is key for long-term weight loss. On the other hand, going months without carbs can lower thyroid hormones and leave you fatigued, especially if you're over 40. Carb cycling protects your metabolism by training your body to switch between burning fat and burning carbs efficiently, like a hybrid car switching between gas and electric. But here's where most people go wrong. They treat carb days like cheat days. Pizza, pasta, cookies, bread, those aren't the kind of carbs your body needs. The goal isn't to binge, it's to choose carbs that come with nutrients and fiber. Think beans, lentils, quinoa, wild rice, or roasted root vegetables. Think fiber, not flour. One of my patients, a man in his early 50s, struggled with energy dips on his low-carb diet. Once he started carb cycling, keeping carbs low on weekdays and adding beans or sweet potatoes on his workout days, his energy returned. His cravings dropped, and the weight started coming off again. The lesson is simple. Carbs can be your ally when used with intention. You don't need to fear them. You just need to time them wisely and choose quality over convenience. When you learn to cycle your carbs, you give your body the variety it needs to stay out of fat loss plateaus and keep your metabolism humming. And once you've got your meals working for you in this smarter way, the next step is to make sure your body is moving in a way that burns fat naturally, without hours at the gym. That's what we'll dive into next in Habit 3. Move more, burn more. Without the gym. By now, you've started fueling your body smarter with protein and cycling carbs the right way. But there's another silent factor that determines whether your body burns fat or stores it: how much you move throughout the day. And here's the reality check. Sitting is the new smoking. Long hours in a chair don't just stiffen your back, they quietly shut down fat burning, raise insulin, and even increase risk for heart disease. The good news is that you don't need hours at the gym to fix this. Small, intentional movements throughout the day can trigger powerful fat burning and hormone balancing effects. In fact, one of the simplest habits you can adopt is walking, especially after meals. Research shows that just a 10 to 15-minute walk after eating can lower blood sugar by over 20% and reduce insulin by about 25% compared to simply sitting on the couch. That means less fat stored, steadier energy, and fewer cravings later on. Think about it. After dinner, instead of settling in front of the TV, what if you took a gentle stroll around your neighborhood? Not only does it aid digestion, but it also gives you a chance to clear your mind, reduce stress, and bond with a partner or friend. That short walk may feel small, but inside your body, it's a signal that says, burn this fuel, don't store it. Beyond walking, there's another concept I often teach called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's a fancy term for all the calories you burn by simply moving outside of structured workouts. This includes pacing during phone calls, cleaning the house, stretching during commercial breaks, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or even tapping your foot while you think. One fascinating study showed that simple fidgeting, something as small as shaking your leg, can increase energy use by 20 to 40% above resting levels. That's real calorie burn without breaking a sweat. I once had a patient in his late 40s who swore he had no time for exercise. He worked long hours at a desk, and the gym just wasn't realistic for him. So we made one change. Every time his phone rang, he stood up and paced around his office while talking. He also started walking 15 minutes after dinner with his wife. Over the course of 3 months, those little tweaks added up to over 12 pounds lost, without a single formal workout. The lesson here is powerful. Movement doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. Every step you take, every stretch, every small choice to move instead of sit, it all adds up. And for those of us over 40, these simple changes not only burn calories, but also lower stress hormones like cortisol, which is directly linked to belly fat. When you see movement as medicine instead of punishment, fat loss stops being a battle and starts becoming a byproduct of your lifestyle. So the next time you think exercise has to mean sweaty hours at the gym, remember, the secret might just be a pair of comfortable shoes and a decision to stand instead of sit. And once you've built this rhythm of daily movement, your body is ready for the next level. The kind of training that doesn't just burn fat while you move, but keeps your metabolism revving long after you're done. That's what we'll uncover in Habit 4. Strength plus short bursts of intensity. Once you've started moving more throughout the day, it's time to give your body a stronger signal. One that tells your muscles to grow, your metabolism to speed up, and your fat stores to finally open up. And here's where so many people over 40 make a mistake. They rely only on long cardio sessions, thinking that more time on the treadmill means more fat loss. But the truth is, endless cardio can actually burn away muscle, slow your metabolism, and leave you feeling drained. What your body really needs at this stage of life is a smarter combination: strength training plus short bursts of intensity. Think of it this way. When you challenge your muscles, you send your body a clear message: build strength, protect lean tissue, and burn fat to fuel it. Add in a bit of intensity, and you also trigger powerful hormones like growth hormone, which has been shown to increase by over 150% with this style of training. That hormone is like a natural fat-burning booster, pulling fuel out of storage so you can actually see results around your midsection. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment or an expensive gym membership, just your body and a few minutes of effort. Here's a simple example. Pick 3 moves like squats, wall push-ups, and planks. Do each for 50 seconds, rest for 10 seconds, and then rotate through them for about 10 minutes. In less time than it takes to scroll through your phone, you've given your body a fat-burning workout that continues working for you long after you stop. That's called the afterburn effect. Your metabolism stays elevated for up to 24 hours, which means you're still burning fat while you're at work, cooking dinner, or even sleeping. I'll never forget one of my patients, a 52-year-old teacher who told me she was terrified of strength training. She pictured heavy barbells, crowded gyms, and young athletes. But when we started with bodyweight exercises in her living room, chair squats, modified push-ups on the wall, and gentle step-ups, her confidence grew. Within 6 weeks, Not only did she lose 10 pounds, but she noticed her knees didn't ache as much climbing stairs, and her energy was higher in the afternoons. Her comment to me was, "I didn't realize getting stronger would make me feel younger." That's the real beauty of strength plus intensity. It's not just about weight loss, it's about regaining energy, protecting your joints, and building independence for the years ahead. If you're worried about safety, start at your own level. Even holding onto a chair while squatting or doing push-ups against a countertop is enough to send the signal your body needs. What matters is consistency, not perfection. The lesson here is simple. Cardio might burn calories while you're doing it, but strength and intensity transform your metabolism to keep burning fat, even when you're not. For anyone over 40, this is the kind of training that helps you get results without spending hours exercising. So don't be afraid to push a little harder in short bursts. You'll be amazed at how your body responds. And once you've started building strength and confidence, the next key step is learning how to build every meal so that it works with your metabolism instead of against it. That's what we'll dive into next in Habit 5, the fat-burning plate. Protein plus healthy fat plus fiber. By now you've learned how to start your mornings with protein, how to use carbs wisely, and how to move your body so it naturally burns fat. But here's the habit that ties your nutrition together at every meal, the way you actually build your plate. Most of us were taught the old model, protein, fat, and carbs. The problem is that too many of those carbs were refined, bread, pasta, cereal, and they ended up driving blood sugar and insulin through the roof. What your body really needs, especially after 40, is a new model: protein, healthy fat, and fiber. When you combine these three at every meal, you give your body the tools to stabilize blood sugar, calm hunger, and keep your metabolism running strong. Let's break it down. Protein is your metabolism's best friend. It fuels muscle, slows digestion, and keeps you satisfied long after you eat. Without enough protein, especially as you get older, your body starts to burn muscle for fuel instead of fat, which is the last thing you want when trying to lose weight. Healthy fats are just as critical. Unlike carbs, they don't spike insulin. Instead, they regulate your hormones, reduce inflammation, and keep you full for hours. And then there's fiber. Not just carbs, but true fiber. Fiber slows down digestion, prevents blood sugar spikes, feeds your gut bacteria, and even lowers your long-term risk of disease. It's not only a fat loss tool, it's a longevity tool. Let me give you a picture of what this looks like in real life. Imagine a dinner plate divided into 3 parts. Half the plate is covered in colorful vegetables, broccoli, spinach, Brussels sprouts, or a big leafy salad. A quarter is filled with a quality protein like salmon, grilled chicken, or grass-fed beef. The last quarter holds healthy fats like avocado slices, a drizzle of olive oil, or a handful of raw nuts. You've just built a fat-burning plate. Here's another example. Breakfast could be 2 pasture-raised eggs cooked in coconut oil, served with sautéed spinach and half an avocado. Or lunch could be a large salad topped with grilled chicken, olive oil, and a sprinkle of seeds. The combinations are endless, but the formula stays the same: protein, fat, fiber. I once worked with a man in his late 40s who struggled with constant snacking. He'd eat lunch at noon, and by 2:30 he was raiding the office vending machine. When we rebuilt his lunch around this trio, a chicken and vegetable salad with avocado and olive oil, his afternoon cravings vanished. He told me, "For the first time in years, I made it to dinner without needing a snack." That's the power of the fat-burning plate. And here's one more trick backed by research. Eat your protein first. One study showed that when people ate their protein before their carbs, their blood sugar dropped by up to 45%, and insulin dropped by 50%. That's a simple shift anyone can make for better results. The lesson here is simple. When you design your meals around protein, healthy fat, and fiber, you stop fighting your body and start feeding it what it really needs. You're no longer riding the roller coaster of sugar highs and crashes. You're steady, satisfied, and set up to burn fat instead of store it. And once you've mastered building meals this way, the next step is learning not just what to eat, but when to eat. Because the timing of your meals can be just as important as the content. And that's exactly what we'll uncover in Habit 6. Space your meals. Stop grazing, start burning. Now that you've learned how to build the right kind of plate, It's time to address one of the biggest hidden obstacles to weight loss after 40, the habit of grazing. Most people don't even realize how often they eat throughout the day. A muffin with your morning coffee at 8, a granola bar at 10, lunch at noon, a handful of chips at 3, dinner at 6, and then maybe ice cream or crackers at 9. That might not sound like much, but here's what's happening every single time you take a bite. Your insulin rises. And when insulin is up, fat burning shuts down. It doesn't matter if the snack is healthy or small. Constant eating keeps your body locked in storage mode. The solution is surprisingly simple. Create intentional space between meals so your body has time to lower insulin, use up the fuel you already ate, and tap into fat stores for energy. This is what I call meal spacing, and it works like a reset button for your metabolism. Research proves it too. In one 12-week study, people who limited their eating to a 10-hour window, not changing what they ate, just when, lost over 7 pounds and trimmed nearly 2 inches off their waistline. They weren't starving themselves. They were simply giving their bodies a chance to burn instead of store. For someone over 40, this rhythm is especially powerful because it not only encourages fat loss, but also supports hormones like growth hormone, which helps protect your muscle as you age. Here's what it can look like in real life. Instead of snacking all day, you eat 3 balanced meals. Breakfast at 8, lunch at 1, and dinner at 6. Between those meals, you drink water, tea, or coffee, but you don't snack. That alone gives your body 4 to 6 hours between meals to reset. Then when you finish dinner by 6 or 7 p.m. and don't eat again until the next morning, you've naturally created a 12 to 14-hour overnight fast. No special products, no extreme fasting plans, just a normal rhythm that works with your life. I had a patient in his early 60s who struggled with constant evening cravings. He was used to eating popcorn or cookies while watching TV at night, and he thought it was harmless. But once he committed to a simple rule, no food after dinner, everything changed. Within a few weeks, he reported sleeping better, feeling lighter in the morning, and losing almost 9 pounds without changing anything else. His comment was, "It felt like my body finally remembered how to burn fat again." The lesson here is clear. When you stop grazing and start spacing your meals, you're not depriving yourself, you're giving your body room to breathe. You're lowering insulin, balancing hormones, and turning fat burning into a natural process instead of an uphill battle. And once you've built this rhythm into your day, there's one more powerful piece to protect. Your liver. The very organ that decides whether fat... That's what we'll uncover in Habit 7. Protect your liver. Protect your fat loss. We've talked about protein, carbs, movement, strength, balanced meals, and even meal timing. But there's one final piece that often gets overlooked. And without it, all your hard work can stall. That piece is your liver. Think of your liver as the command center of your metabolism. It filters toxins, processes nutrients, balances hormones, and decides whether your body burns fat or stores it. When your liver is healthy, fat loss is smoother. But when it's clogged up with too many toxins, processed foods, or chemicals, it's like trying to run a marathon with a weighted vest. You can move forward, but it's much harder than it needs to be. For people over 40, this becomes even more important. Over the years, our liver has already processed decades of sugar, alcohol, medications, and processed oils. If it's under constant attack, your body holds on to fat as a way to protect itself. I've seen patients who were eating well and exercising consistently, yet the scale wouldn't budge until we addressed their liver health. So what are the culprits that overload the liver? The surprising part is that many of them are foods marketed as healthy. Things like vegetable oils, canola, soybean, and corn oil are in almost every packaged food, yet they create inflammation and damage at a cellular level. Artificial sweeteners in diet sodas or sugar-free snacks can disrupt gut bacteria and slow down metabolism. Even so-called healthy breakfast cereals or granola bars often come loaded with hidden sugars that the liver has to work overtime to process. It's not about being perfect or cutting everything at once, but becoming aware of these common traps and replacing them with cleaner options. Swap out vegetable oils for olive oil or avocado oil. Trade diet sodas for sparkling water with lemon. Choose whole foods, like berries, beans, or nuts, instead of packaged health snacks. One of my patients, a woman in her early 50s, was frustrated because she had followed every habit we've talked about so far, but still felt stuck. When we took a closer look at her diet, she was unknowingly consuming seed oils in her salad dressings and, quote, light yogurts with artificial sweeteners every single day. Once she swapped those out for olive oil and unsweetened yogurt with berries, her liver markers improved, her bloating disappeared, and within a month she lost 6 pounds without changing anything else. The insight here is powerful. Your liver is not just another organ, it's your fat-burning engine. If it's clean and supported, your body can shed weight more easily. If it's overloaded, no diet or exercise plan will work as well as it should. So as you continue your journey, don't just think about calories. Think about what supports your liver and what stresses it. Protecting this vital organ could be the missing key to unlocking consistent fat loss, more energy, and even better, long-term health. And as we bring all 7 habits together, the real magic happens. Not just in numbers on a scale, but in the way you feel, move, and live every single day. Let's wrap this up with a final message to pull everything together and give you the confidence to start. Choose one habit today. We've just walked through 7 powerful habits that can flip your body back into fat-burning mode. Protein-packed mornings, carb cycling, moving more, building strength, creating fat-burning plates, spacing your meals, and protecting your liver. And I know what you might be thinking right now. That's a lot. Where do I even start? The truth is, you don't need to master all 7 at once. In fact, trying to do everything perfectly from day one is one of the biggest reasons people quit. The real key to lasting change, especially after 40, is choosing one habit and practicing it until it feels natural, then building from there. Imagine tomorrow morning you make just one change. Instead of pouring a bowl of cereal or grabbing a bagel, you start your day with 2 eggs and half an avocado, or a simple protein coffee. That one choice could set the tone for steady energy, fewer cravings, and less late-night snacking. Or maybe you decide your starting point is walking for 10 minutes after dinner, instead of heading straight to the couch. That one habit could lower your blood sugar, reduce insulin spikes, and give your body the chance to burn instead of store. I remember a man in his late 50s who felt overwhelmed when I first laid out these steps. He told me, "Doc, I can't change everything, I'll fail." So we picked one habit for him, spacing his meals. No snacks, 3 balanced meals a day. Within 4 weeks, without counting calories or hitting the gym, he lost 8 pounds. The success gave him confidence to add in more habits, and soon he was moving daily, eating protein at breakfast, and feeling years younger. That's why I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken, and your body is not too far gone. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to begin. Every small choice compounds. One better breakfast, one walk, one swapped out food that supports your liver instead of stressing it. These small wins add up, and before you know it, your body begins to respond. You feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. The lesson here is simple. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time never comes. Choose one habit today, commit to it. Celebrate the progress, not perfection. And when you feel ready, layer in the next one. This is how real sustainable weight loss happens, one decision at a time. So as we close, I want to leave you with this encouragement. Your age is not a limitation, it's your advantage. Because by now you know yourself, you know your struggles, and you're ready for a smarter approach that works with your body, not against it. You've got 7 habits to guide you, but all you need is the courage to start with one. And if you want to keep building momentum, in the next video, I'll walk you through the hidden foods that might be sabotaging your progress without you even realizing it. Watch that, Take action, and let's keep this journey going together. Thanks for being here. Your health is the foundation for everything you do. Protect it. If you found value in today's video, tap like, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more. We're here to guide you through the science, the facts, and the tools to win your fight against obesity.